Bless the Lord, O my soul, bless.
Those people can carry spirits with them. And not that evil is contagious. It is not. Evil cannot be transmitted by touch.
Hi, thanks for tuning in to another video on Armor of God. Thank you so much to all of you for your continuous support of our videos, for being here with us. And before I get on with the video, recently I've been posting too many videos about the danger of witchcraft, and I have to apologize in advance to all of you because I am going to be covering the same topic in this video as well. But still, I really do hope you'll learn something useful from this video too. But this is only because in the Bible, we have been warned many times against witchcraft and sorcerers, both in the Old and the New Testaments. Scripture warns us that witchcraft is one of the most common means used by the devil to bind men to himself and to dehumanize them. Directly or indirectly, witchcraft is a cult of the prince of evil. Anyway, I'll kick this off with Father Joseph Iannuzzi explaining that evil is not contagious because apparently some people like to think so.
The different levels are affliction, infestation, oppression, obsession, and possession. Those are 5. And they vary in their intensity and in the faculty in which they impact the individual. Now, people can dispose themselves for these things, number 1, by committing repeated mortal sins. This disposes you for all 5 of these. Number 2, being in the company of people that are in the occult, people that go to tarot card readers, psychics, play with Ouija boards. Those people can carry spirits with them. And not that evil is contagious. It is not. Evil cannot be transmitted by touch. No. But rather, what happens when you hang around people that practice black magic or witchcraft or santeria or people that cast curses like the macumba, the evil eye, the malocchio, the sortileggio, different cultures, different races do these things. They can do it against you if they get angry at you. They can involve other people to know how to do it too. And they can carry with themselves what are called amulets that can bring with them misfortune. Just like God has sacraments, physical things that transmit grace, so Satan has his talismans, his amulets that don't transmit, but can bring with them, accompany them, trouble, wherever they are.
You've already heard how many times exorcists spoke about witchcraft before. Father Lampard, many times in his lectures and interviews, Father Carlos Martins, Monsignor Rossetti, and of course the late Father Gabriele Amorth. Many times in his writings and interviews, Father Amorth emphasized the importance of turning to God and his means of liberation instead of a sorcerer or a magician, even when we are under the impression that God's ways are slow. The Lord gave us the power of his name, the strength of prayer, both individual and in community, and the intercession of the church. Turning to a sorcerer, to someone who hides his actions under the false name of white magic, can only aggravate the evil. And in the Gospel, Matthew chapter 12, verse 43 to 45, there's something mentioned about a demon who leaves a soul to come back later with 7 demons worse than himself. And this is what happens when we turn to witchcraft, in which Father Amorth provided us with 3 examples. The first example, someone begins to feel physical pain. He tries many doctors and medications, but the pain increases rather than diminishing. No cause can be found. At this point, he goes to a sorcerer or to a card reader who practices magic and is told, "You are under a malefice. If you wish, I will remove it. I only ask for $1,000. The patient thinks about it for a while, then pays the money. Sometimes he is asked for a photo, an item of intimate apparel, or a lock of hair. After a few days, the man feels well and is convinced that he spent the money wisely. Thus, the demon left. After 1 year, the same ailments begin to reappear. The poor victim starts his now familiar journey from doctor to doctor, but medicine becomes more and more impotent, and the pain increases dramatically. When he cannot take it anymore, the victim thinks, "That sorcerer asked me for $1,000, but he took the pain away." At this point, he goes back without realizing that it was the sorcerer himself who caused the greater pain. This time he is told, "Your spell is greater than the other one. I will take it away for only $5,000. I would ask twice as much from anyone else." And thus the victim starts all over again. If he finally decides to turn to the exorcist, he must be liberated not only from the initial evil, but also from the greater one caused by the sorcerer. The second example is this: the patient pays, is healed by the sorcerer, and remains healed. However, his illness is transferred to his wife, children, parents, and siblings. In this case, the evil is still multiplied. It can take the form of an obstinate atheism, a sinful life, a series of car accidents, misfortunes, depressions, and so on. And finally, the third example: the patient is healed, and the healing remains. However, that evil was originally permitted by God for the expiation of the victim's sins, to encourage him to begin a life of prayer and sacramental grace, and to return to the church. The purpose of that illness was to obtain great spiritual fruits for the salvation of his soul. When the healing is achieved through demonic intervention, the conversion that the Lord desired to bring about through the illness does not come to pass. For the next part of the video, it's not really related to witchcraft, but rather something out of curiosity. I've always wondered why the paintings of St. Jerome has a skull on his desk while he's writing. Unfortunately, while I was listening to Father Iannuzzi, he has provided us with the explanation about this too.
There was in the Catholic Church some people donning skeletons for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
The costume all black with white skeleton bones. That was part of Catholic tradition. Why? You will find in many saints, like Jerome, a skull right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you that you are going to die. And this is why some of these deadly figures, not demons, not vampires, not werewolves, no, just like deceased people, like skeletons,
Yeah.
they would wear to remind them that they would die. So this is not some sort of memento mori. That's a Latin word meaning like a ghoulish meditation on death. No, it is something that we as Christians should always have in our minds. That is the reality of death. It's not a morbidity recollection. That's what memento mori means, a morbidity recollection of death. No. But this is rather something that St. Jerome and the ascetics used to practice when they had a skull on their desk. Literally a human skull, a real cadaver, not a model. You think that's crazy? They would take literally a skull, where they got it, I don't know, and they would put it right on their desk. And you find this also in Rome. You have a church in honor of the exhumed skulls that were found in a big gravesite, and they're visible to the people that walk by. And monks would go there and meditate in that room, reflecting that one day they would die. Maybe on Halloween, I'm going to go out dressed as a skeleton.
Well, that's all for this video. Hopefully you've learned a lot from watching this video, and so thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here. Anyway, for those of you who'd like to support our works, I left a link to our PayPal donation down in the description box below. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have donated before. I can't thank you enough. And now, until the next video, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you.